1, 2, 3, 4. Cocktail bar when I met you. I picked you out, I shook you up, I turned you around, I turned you into someone new. Now 5 years later on, you've got the world at your feet. Success has been so easy for you. But don't forget it's me who put you where you are now, and I can put you back there too. Don't you want me? You know I can't believe it when I hear that you won't see me. Don't you want me? You know I can't believe it when I hear that you won't see me. It's much too late to find. You think you change your mind? You better change it back or we will both be sorry. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me, oh, don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me, oh.
I was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar, that much is true. But even then I knew I'd find a much better place, either with or without you.
I hear you talking.
The 5 years we had have been such good times. I still love you, but now I think it's time I live my life on my own. I guess it's just what I must do.
Don't you want me? You know I can't believe it when I hear that you won't see me. Don't you want me? You know I can't believe it when I hear that you won't see me. It's much too late to find. You think you change your mind? You better change it back or we will both be sorry. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me, oh? Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me, oh? Don't you want me, baby?
Woo! Boys and girls, tough cookies. How lucky are we to have my good pal, rock and roller from San Francisco? Is that where you are right now, Chuck?
Yeah, absolutely. In the heart of the city.
There you go. This is my good pal, Chuck Prophet. So happy to have you with us, my friend. I've been loving your Friday country music broadcast. Tell us about what you're doing with that.
Well, I kind of stumbled into it. An old friend of mine has a online radio app, and they found out that there were two sort of genres of music that nobody would give any love to.
Which are?
Heavy metal and country.
Yeah.
So these guys, they got tired of hearing about how great the Smiths are, and they said, we got to do some radio for the kids, for the true outsiders, and they started a thing called Give Me Metal. And because this is the Bay Area, all the metal guys came from here, and so they're still around. They've got stories to tell, and they had some success with Give Me Metal. And so they started Give Me Country, and they asked me if I want to play some country records. They don't stop me. I get to play 50s, 60s country for the kittens and the fucking rockabilly and the cats, and and I play a lot of housewife gothic, from Bobby Gentry to Dusty Springfield, adult music, music for adults.
You play real shit kicker country music, which is what I love. You are not afraid of that shit kicker music. I know you're a big fan of Bobby Gentry. Is there a favorite record of hers that you play sometimes?
Well, she was kind of a singles artist, really, and it's amazing how many records she made in a short period of time. But recently, some different mixes and some demos snuck out, and so you can hear her doing like Seventh Son with a solo on that same guitar. A friend of mine gigged with her actually in the '70s.
Wow.
And he said that she had that same guitar, that little Parlor Martin, and the strings with the strings that came on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's got that whole kind of like, you know, that kind of, and if you're hip, you know, you do. Yeah. And Adam, because I know you're a musician, if you're hip, you add the minor 5 in there. You know, like.
Yeah, go ahead. Show me.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? So she's a fantastic musician, but I used to say that there was never a musician that walked away from it and didn't come back.
Yeah, but
people used to say, "Oh, Chuck, that's not true." Cat Stevens, even he came back. I said, "Okay, well, maybe." And well, what about Don Van Vliet, Chuck? Well, that's true. That's true. Okay, but nobody walked out more on the top of their game and never came back. There's never a better example than Bobby Gentry. There's a kind of a crime footage photograph of her where she looks a little like Patty Hearst, and she's kind of going through a parking lot somewhere in the San Fernando Valley pushing a cart, and somebody said that was her, and they tried to like get the computer graphics to get in there like Robert Johnson. Is it her? Yeah. But I don't think she's been photographed in like 40 years, you know.
Well, yeah, she took her chips and left the table. I have a good friend, my friend Tara, wrote a book about her.
Right.
And she actually has corresponded with Bobby's lawyer, who, you know, he handles her publishing. And through the attorney, she was actually able to, you know, get clearance to do the book. And apparently Bobby read the book. She had absolutely no comment on it whatsoever, but they did send Tara thank you. But I knew you were a Bobby Gentry fan. I'm obsessed, so I just thought I would ask you. Listen, you sent us, before we start talking about your new record, you sent us an outrageous video of yourself and your wife performing a song by the Human League in what looks like your kitchen.
Yeah, that's not a movie set. That's our kitchen.
What has conspired? What has happened to us that this is what we do for a living now? Is that we get together in our kitchen and we do covers of Human League. Are you enjoying doing this? Is it frustrating?
Gosh, I mean, I've missed the physical part of being around people. I feel even today, you know, that I feel like a cat staring out a window at a bird, you know, and I want to have that bird like in my mouth, man. You know, but if this is what it is, you know, I do like to feel connected. I do enjoy community. I didn't get into music to be by myself, you know. That's just not the way I do it. I always wanted to be in a gang, and so, you know, it's fun to play a song like "Don't You Want Me, Baby," and after we really dug into it, I said, you know, this song has been hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
But this song, I would put up against the entire remake of A Star Is Born. I think it's totally superior. It's also better than any song in that movie.
Listen, Chuck, we do a lot of 80s on Tough Cookies, and we have done things I never, ever, ever in a million years thought that I would be singing. Okay. And I'm enjoying it. I'm connecting with songs that I've loved that I never knew that I could sing. And I could sense that you and Steph were just having fun. You were just having fun together. And that is the best part of this, I feel, is that there's this time for a little bit of back to basics. Like, why did we get into doing this in the first place? Just messing around, right?
Yeah, and for me, whether it's Chuck Berry or whether it's Bob Dylan, I always am attracted to people that have a little mischief. And certainly Elvis, Elvis, like they say, he's the kind of guy, you get the sense listening to Elvis that he's the kind of guy that would jump over the hood of your car with a squirt gun,
Right.
You know what I mean? and I've always been attracted to that sense of mischief in rock and roll. Just a little bit, you can see it in the eyes of people that are true believers. And so it's fun to find a song hiding in plain sight. Like in your case, when I heard you sing Lana Del Rey's Video Games, I thought that is really a very hip song. I would have loved to have seen Bobby Gentry get a hold of that song. You know?
It is in that spirit. When I was digging into the Lana music, I thought, it really is somewhere on the Leonard Cohen, Bobby Gentry, Nancy Sinatra, kind of noir pastiche kind of lane, that she's working in. I think she does it very well. Speaking of Los Angeles noir, I want to go back to your last record for a second. Not the new one, but the one you put out 3 years ago. It was called Bobby Fuller Died for Your Sins. Some of the people watching Tough Cookies, they're big fans of yours. Some of them have not heard of Bobby Fuller. Give us a little spiel. Who was Bobby Fuller for a second?
Well, Bobby Fuller was a guy that I totally relate to, on a number of levels. Okay, he was a teenager in El Paso, Texas, and along with his brother, formed a group called the Bobby Fuller Four. He was a Buddy Holly obsessive. He was obsessed with Buddy Holly. He was like a Buddy Holly student.
Yeah,
his whole set was Buddy Holly. So it got to the point where he wanted to figure out how those records were made, and he went and he visited Norman Petty's studio in Clovis, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And Norman Petty let him in and said, "This is the studio, guys. This is where Buddy sang, and this was the reverb tank. We up in the attic, we put some tile down so it was live, and we put a speaker here, and we put, and this is how we got the reverb. And this is the microphone that Buddy sang into." And then he gave, apparently he gave Bobby and his brother a lecture about the perils of the music business and say, "Guys, don't go into the music business." It's, And so they got in the car, and Bobby turned to his brother and he said, "Okay, we're going to need 2 Neumann U47s. We're going to need some tile, maybe some corrugated tin, and some concrete." And what they did was they went back to their parents' house in El Paso. They put a recording studio in the living room, and they built a structure in the backyard out of cement and corrugated tin, and they built their own reverb tank.
Mm-hmm.
So they could make records. And they went about as far as they could go in El Paso, and they decided they were going to go to Los Angeles. Now, sadly, here's where the noir part comes in, because California noir is about the promise of the Golden State.
Yeah.
It has this promise, but whether you're an actor or whether you're a musician want to be in a hair band or whatever it is, oftentimes the dream and the image is 180 degrees out of joint with the reality, and that's where you get the noir. So Bobby and his brother and their band, they get to Hollywood, and they're like these 50s greasers, They're combing their hair back. They're tough guys. They're wearing the matching suits, and they're greasers. And they get there, and it's all about the Bees, the Beach Boys, the Beatles, Bangs, the Byrds. I mean, totally out of touch with what's going on. And from there, they finally managed to get a song on the radio, and within months of hitting the charts, he was found mysteriously murdered, I believe. And so and I relate to Bobby Fuller because I feel like I'm a man out of time. I feel like everywhere I've ever gone, like something else is happening. You know what I mean?
The song, for those that don't know, the hit was "I Fought the Law."
That's right. Yeah.
and which is sort of like that song has a history beyond his life. I mean, it's a song that people have, the Clash has covered, and so many people have referenced the song. Lou Reed referenced Bobby Fuller in one of his songs, and it's just one of
Well,
those sad mysteries.
and that song, incidentally, was a Crickets B-side. The Crickets with Sonny Curtis, the guitar player. He wrote the theme to the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He wrote "I Fought the Law." He also wrote this one. That you might know. I love you half as much tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whoa, love you more than I can say. Don't you worry about the doom. You know the one. So Sonny Curtis wrote that song.
You more than I can say. More than I can say. Yeah.
Big hit for Leo Sayer somewhere in the mid-'70s. Great song. So yeah, the Bobby Fuller thing it just became the theme of my record, because I felt like, when grunge was happening, I was making folky records, and when it just doesn't really matter. Whatever's happening, I've always felt out of step. And I don't know that, But this is what I tell myself every day. The good thing about being completely out of time and not trendy at all is, you don't fall victim to the fad up and down. You've just continued to put out great songs for a few decades now, and it kind of doesn't matter what's in fashion. And to that point, I want to get to your new record, Land That Time Forgot. I will tell you, I love this new song. I mean, there's a bunch of songs that I like, but Love Doesn't Come from the Barrel of a Gun. Love this song. I don't know. Would you be willing, since I saw you got the guitar, could you give us like a verse and a chorus of the song? Would you be willing? Yeah, sure. Sure.
I love this tune.
You can look around for a heart that's true. All of the time it's right in front of you. I could make a problem out of anything at all. You may be right, I may be wrong. Time can only tell if we can wait that long. Love doesn't come from the barrel of a gun.
Yes, boys and girls, this is my friend Chuck Prophet. That's his new song, Love Doesn't Come from the Barrel of a Gun. I love that song. The new record, The Land That Time Forgot, is out on Yep Rock Records.
Correct, sir. Yep Rock Records, tapes, and health aids.
What are your plans? You're going to keep doing the country thing on Fridays? Will you start doing any more full-length performances of your own music online?
Well, we've been wading into the waters. In fact, it was your request to do something rock and roll that kind of got us off the dime. Like so many things in my life, like my dental work and like my career, I always thought, look, if I ignore this long enough, maybe it will go away. And I ended up down in Mexico City, having like my whole fucking mouth rebuilt because that's another story. So the thing is, apparently this pandemic is not going to go away. I've got a laptop, I got a camera, and I'm wading into the waters. And really, this is sort of hanging out with you today and doing that song for you in our kitchen was the first thing that we've done. So yeah, I gotta admit it. It's kind of fun. I'm getting the, you know what I mean? I'm getting the bug. And watching you has been inspiring, because I feel like, I just feel like your energy, it just jumps out, just.
Thank you.
Reaches out and grabs me. So, hey,
Well, you have many skills and talents. You got to share them with the world. We just have to learn how to share them in different ways, And I'm so glad that you went out on a little bit of a limb, you and Step, and did that video for us. It's a lot of fun. I know that the Tough Cookies are going to love it. And don't stop, baby. Keep the shit kicker music going on the Fridays, because I love that shit. I wish you nothing but the best with the release of this new record. It's very strong. I wish that I could see live on stage with a band doing your fucking summertime thing and all the jams. But in the meantime, I look forward to seeing what you do with your music. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up.
Now, Adam, are you in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Right on. The city of brotherly love. I'm happy to know that. And does your show does it broadcast live at a certain point where you can join in the community?
Oh yeah. So we broadcast live every Saturday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 o'clock Bay time.
Okay, yeah, I got that.
And I also do these special shows on Thursdays and sometimes other nights that are either private events for our members or special broadcasts, like on the, for a while I was doing 2 shows a week. The night that Little Richard passed away, I did a full Little Richard set that night to honor him. I've done 37 episodes, and we're up to over 400 fucking songs.
That is really something else, man.
Well, it's kind of like I thought I would do 3 shows because, like you, I thought this is going to be a little while, and then we'll get back out there. We were supposed to go to Europe in the summer. Our album comes out in October, and we thought we'd go on a big tour. And the first thing that happened is that people said, please give us more. Please give us more. And we had nurses that were watching the show on their phones, like in the ER. And I said, I just got to keep this shit going. And now, Chuck, I'm like, oh, this is the future. This is the future. Because I can sit here with you and have this conversation, and people from Japan will watch this, people from Argentina will watch this, people from Australia, Austria, Ireland, they all tune in. And we have the live chat feed. So while you're sitting there in your living room in San Francisco playing your new song, they're going to love it, and they're going to be commenting on it. And we can put a link to your record. This shit's the future, baby.
I like it. I mean, I spent the first 3 months of this saying, like, listen, Elvis went in the army and people waited for him.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, I guess you're right, Chuck, but you're missing out. There's a lot of fun stuff happening. So
you just have to adjust. And for somebody like you that's been doing this a long time, and you have talents you don't even know you have, you know what I mean? You think you need the sound system and the lights and the crowd and the hoopla, but at the end of the day, you're one of those guys who could just pick up a guitar and start to sing, and that's really kind of all you fucking need. And I think it's, in some ways, it's a beautiful thing, because we're getting to build a new live entertainment business.
Well, I'm happy to hear that from you, because you're a practitioner. And that goes a long way,
Also, to be fair, not so you don't think I'm sunshine and rainbows. Like, I never got signed. I've never been signed to a label. I got turned down by everybody. The music industry has not been like super kind to me or very receptive. My fans have. We continue to grow a fan base. And all of a sudden, I'm kind of like skirting around the industry. I feel like I've left the music business and I'm in the entertainment business now. Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, there became a time in my life when I sobered up that I really had to make a decision to honor playing and to honor my shows. And I didn't want to be a bummer.
Right.
I mean, I didn't want to be a downer, and you know, I don't. It's interesting. So I do put a lot of value on entertainment, and as much as Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen have always been there for me, lately I've discovered that Bobby Darin's not bad either.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I saw Leonard Cohen at Radio City Music Hall, that first US comeback show. I'll never forget it. And he was a showman. I mean, he was full of energy, so funny, skipped across the stage. The show is so well stitched together.
Yeah.
It was really, really an entertaining, it was really a beautiful piece of live entertainment.
Well, it's interesting because I have a friend of mine that who says, Chuck, writing is thinking. So although I'm not really writing songs right now, I'm thinking. I'm staring out the window. So it doesn't come as any surprise to me that Leonard Cohen would put a little thinking, a little thought into his show.
But also, he only did that tour because he lost all his fucking money. He got all his money stolen and he had to go on tour. He didn't ever want to tour again. So sometimes very dire situations that we can't control put us in situations where we got to be creative and good things happen. I've been frustrated. This part won't be on the fucking on the clip on the show. It'll be on the we'll post this whole interview on the site. But, I've been very frustrated working with big corporate entities like Live Nation and stuff over the years. And it's been very frustrating. And I don't feel like a lot of the people in the business have art on their minds or even the fans on their minds, giving the best experience for people that love music and art. That's not their top priority. I've done these music festivals for years that I've watched become less and less and less and less about art and music. And so any opportunity, unfortunately, it takes tragedy like this, but anything where we can have a reset and get back to focusing on art, I support, Yeah,
well, that's what punk rock did, It was a reset. It erased the line between the stage and the audience. And, partly one of the things that, although I was around for hardcore, it never really appealed to me because, first of all, where's the girls, and prior to hardcore, the punk rock scene, when I entered it, just as a kid, people were very inventive with how they dressed, especially the women. The girls would really take this thrift store chic to another level, and people were very inventive. And when things started to get kind of homogenized, for me, it wasn't as much fun. It wasn't as creative, and it wasn't as much about individual expression,
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see that, individuals, we can all express ourselves. We've all got a camera,
Absolutely. Listen.
And the next Sun Records might come out of some guy's garage in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I mean,
exactly.
And we probably won't even know about
it. Listen, thank you for being here with us. All the best to you and Steph and the new record and all your endeavors. Keep it up. You're a lifer. And I'll be talking to you real soon.
I'll be following you on the interwebs. See you around campus, Adam. So great that you would have me. I appreciate it. I love the attention.
All right. Take care, baby. All right.
Yeah, all right on.